Hey guys, it's CStars360 here with another Clone Wars vlog. Now before we get into a quick, sorry if I'm been a little slow on Powerpuff Girls vlogs. I've been really busy. There's a lot. Keep in mind I have a life. I have a schoolwork, plus there's a bunch of YouTube stuff I'm subscribed to and I'm always watching. So I'm sorry if I can't get to Powerpuff Girls. I'm going to try and get at least one out a week. So the people that do want it will get it, but I'm just going to try and get this done first. Also, I want to focus on this because Season 6 is going to be starting soon, at least in Germany, and I do want this done and out there. So, without further ado, let's get into Season 2. So, Season 2, so if you remember, I really didn't care much for Season 1. I mean, it had some fun moments, and occasionally it got a really good moment, but for the most part, it was just sort of meh. Season 2 is much better. I mean, it's not a great season overall, but in comparison to Season 1, it's a major improvement. There's a lot more fun and entertaining episodes. Again, not quality writing, not something to the point where I'm like, Star Wars fans need to see this, but it actually was sort of getting fun and entertaining. So first off, we have the CAD Bane trilogy, which is unrelated to the CAD Bane arc we saw at the end of Season 1. I forget if it takes place before the first CAD Bane episode, the Season 1 finale, or after. I think it takes place... I forget. I need to go back and rewatch and see which one seems like the proper introduction. But either way, the first arc of this season is basically just 3 episodes focused on CAD Bane. And it's a pretty good start. I mean, CAD Bane's a really awesome villain. He's a lot of fun. He has a lot of gadgets. He's always quick to think on his feet. He can hold his own against Jedi. He's smart. He has a plan. It's really entertaining. First one is Holocron Heist, which is more of a stealthy episode of CAD Bane breaking into the Jedi temple to steal a Holocron. It's fun. It's really fun to just see him outsmart all the bad guys. And... Sorry if I'm not have that much to say in it, but in some cases it's been so long I've kind of forgotten what happened in certain episodes. But so if I'm a little vague on certain ones, please forgive me. Second one, Cargo of Doom, where the Jedi are going after CAD Bane. He's like captured a Jedi and he's trying to recover a holocron. He's trying to activate the holocron. That one's a lot of fun. It's fun to see the Jedi raiding. It's fun to see CAD Bane outsmarting everyone. The way he gets the holocron, I think, is clever. It's just a really fun episode. After seeing so many episodes where the villain gets duped, to see an episode where the villain doesn't get duped, if they lose, it's not because they're an idiot. It's awesome. I mean, CAD Bane pretty much wins this round. He doesn't win the war, but he wins this round. As you see in Children of the Force, which, again, it's a pretty fun episode. And we have CAD Bane getting away, living to fight another day. Unfortunately, I don't think in this season. But, yeah, sorry if I'm rambling, but, again, it's been a while. But, yeah, CAD Bane episode... the first 3 episodes of CAD Bane were a lot of fun. I really enjoyed him, and thankfully he comes back. I'd hope he's used again. We see him again in Season 6, because he wasn't in Season 5. Maybe he's in the Clovis arc. Was in the Clovis arc before I got bumped to Season 6. Next is the Geonosis story, which is really good. There's some really great episodes here. The first episode, Senate Spy, I really don't care for that much, actually. I mean, you don't need to see this episode to get to the rest of the arc. It's basically where Padme is spying on someone she learns about the droid factory on Geonosis, which is the basis for the rest of the arc. I mean, it's basically just a nod to Notorious, the Alfred Hitchcock movie, which I haven't seen anyone say. No, Filoni, TV.com, no one has pointed this out, so I'm just going to point out this episode is basically Notorious. If you've seen Notorious, you know this episode. I didn't really care for Notorious. I mean, I don't hate Hitchcock. I love Psycho. I love Vertigo. I think Rear Window is interesting. I didn't care for Notorious. I didn't care for this Notorious-inspired episode. Landing at Point Rain, which is where first part of the invasion of Geonosis by the Republic. That episode was really entertaining. A lot of just non-stop action. It was incredible. This is actually one I'd recommend to Star Wars fans. Weapons Factory is entertaining. It's basically them going inside the bad guy's lair and blowing it up. It's fun. We get a bit of dynamic between Anakin and Luminara, and Luminara's Padawan and Anakin's Padawan. It's fun. I feel like the ending, though, could have been saved for another episode, but it was still good. Legacy of Terror, it was a creepy episode, but I really didn't care for it that much. Brain Invaders, which is where Legacy of Terror, in case you don't know, that's the zombie one where they find like the zombie Geonosians. Brain Invaders was really good. I love the idea of basically they're on the it's them leaving Geonosis, but one of the worms that causes you to be a zombie infects one of the clones, and then on the ship that's heading back home, all the clones on the ship get infected, and Ahsoka and I forget the name, and Barriss, that's the name. Have to save everyone. It's a fun episode. It's fun to see like zombie clones. Is really cool. It's creepy. We get a bit more of Ahsoka and Barriss, which is cool. Just really good episode. Next is the Chasing Grievous arc, which is alright. It's basically the Republic trying to capture Grievous. The first episode's a little fun action, but no real tension, because we know Grievous is going to escape. And the action there's not really good. Deserter's interesting, not because of that trying to capture Grievous, but because of the other plotline going on, which I won't spoil, but it's a really interesting plotline. And there's also... And the ending kind of reminds me of like Nazi zombies from Call of Duty. It's awesome. And then, again, also introducing the idea not everyone's for the Republic, which I like that they have that idea. And then there's Lightsaber Lost, which is basically Ahsoka loses her lightsaber while in the underground part of Coruscant. She has to find it. It's a fun episode, primarily for this one big, long chase scene for Coruscant that happens about halfway, a good way. I forget what point, but it happens at some point in the episode, and it's a lot of fun. Then you have the Mandalorian trilogy, where we get to see the Mandalorians, which is awesome. First episode is good. We get to see Mandalore, and it looks cool. We get to see the Mandalorians. We get to see a fight between Obi-Wan and the Mandalorians, which is awesome. Then we have the Voyage of Temptation, which is the second part of the arc. Like, this is a really strong arc overall. Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm curious to see how Clovis from the Notorious inspired episode back from the Geonosis arc. I'm curious to see how that comes back into play in Season 6. Same with Voyage of Temptation. It's fun. It's them on the ship. There's a traitor on the ship. They're trying to find out who it is. I just remember really liking this episode. And then the final bit of the Mandalorian arc, I really didn't care for that much. Again, I liked it, but I just found it forgettable, considering I barely remember what happens in it. Then there's Senate Murders, which is where someone in the Senate dies, and they're trying to figure out who the murderer is. It's an interesting episode, but nothing spectacular. I remember there's a detective in it, voiced by Tom Kenny. That was kind of amusing. Then there's Cat and Mouse. It's basically the prequel to the Clone Wars movie, where basically Anakin's trying to break the blockade and resupply the people there. But there's this spider-like general who's like, interesting, Anakin Skywalker. And Anakin has to outsmart him. It's an alright episode, although the spider villain's coming back for the Order 66 arc. He has like cybernetic implants and stuff, so I guess he survived the ship explosion. Curious, but we'll see. Then there's the Zillaby Strikes Back, which Dave Filoni brings out his love of monster movies in a really fun episode where they find this beast and the Republic weakens the beast so it does. I forget if there's a Republic base there or not, but point is they just knock out the beast so that way it won't hurt the base. Then their plan is to drop it on a deserted planet where it won't hurt anyone. But Palpatine has them bring it back to Coruscant. All heck breaks loose. The beast starts wrecking Coruscant. It's awesome. Really hate Palpatine for making the beast be tortured, and ultimately they have to kill him, which sucks. Although the ending says they're going to clone him, so I'm curious to see if they would have brought him back had the show not been canceled. But yeah, awesome episode. Love seeing this beast just go through Coruscant, climbing on the buildings, wrecking everything. It was like a throwback to like Godzilla movies, which Dave Filoni loves his giant monsters. As like Dave Filoni directed the season 1 finale to Avatar, where Aang turns into the giant koi fish spirit and he just wrecks the Fire Nation fleet. Sorry if I just spoiled the ending to Avatar, but it's been out for a while, so you should have seen it by now. But yeah, it was nice to see that monster bit come through. And then the season ended with the Boba Fett trilogy, which started out slow but ended really well. The first episode I really didn't care for was just Boba Fett going around pretending to be an innocent little clone kid, but really he's there to assassinate Mace Windu. I really didn't care for it. It was just a meh episode for me. The second episode, though, R2-D2 Come Home, where the bounty hunters are trying to kill Anakin and Mace Windu, who are trapped under debris, but R2's trying to fend off the bounty hunters and get help. That was kind of fun. It was a fun R2 episode. And then Lethal Takedown was really good, especially the chase scene at the end, and when Ahsoka climbs onto the Slave One and is fighting. I forget the name of the female bounty hunter. But yeah, it was an awesome episode. Really good way to end it. So yeah, season 1 was a great way to end it. A lot of fun episodes. CAD Bane trilogy was awesome. Some parts of the Geonosis arc were meh, but the parts that were really good more than made up for it. Yeah, the Mandalorian trilogy, which it's Mandalorians. Zilla Beasts were awesome, and I forget. Hang on, I put Lethal Takedown on here as well as a highlight. Oh yeah, and the Boba Fett arc ended on a high note. So the show was getting better. It was actually getting fun and enjoyable. Hadn't quite hit that awesomeness, that Star Wars awesomeness yet, but next season it would. So please join me next time when I talk about season 3, which, oh my gosh, does it get good. See you then. Until then, may the Force be with you.